The Dodgers lost another game. The Dodgers are playing bad. The Dodgers might just be a bad team. Maybe we're done sugarcoating it. I don't know, but we're going to figure it out together today here on All Dodgers. Coming at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers podcast. Good morning to everybody here on this Saturday. Coffee and Dodgers and complaining edition. I've got some almonds in my teeth, so we're off to a great start. Appreciate folks joining me this morning. It's just going to be me today. No Jeff, no Kevin. Kevin is out doing tennis. So it's us hanging out. It's been a while. Chat. Join in the chat. Get your voicemails in if you have some thoughts. 562-373-4095. I will try to check voicemails as we're going along. It might be a little bit more difficult to add voicemails because it is just me, but this is All Dodgers presented by FanDuel, part of the Bleav Network of podcasts. And let me know where you're watching your Dodgers these days. Drop into the comments, drop your area code, zip code, social security numbers, all that kind of stuff. Interested in hearing from you, and please like the show, subscribe to the show. All of that kind of stuff. It helps us out a whole bunch. I see some friends in the chat. Ohtani boy saying World Series or wild card or bust. I apologize. I was thinking more positive. I don't want to get there yet. Maybe. Richie Flores says Glasnow is the biggest pussy on this team. Totally gutless. I will talk Glasnow later on in the show. I do have kind of a monologue of thoughts I want to get off my chest before. I left my own voicemail here, essentially, but it's going to be live, and we'll all hang out together. We're going to hear a clip from Bill Plunkett of the Orange County Register when he joined the boys over on Foul Territory a couple of days ago. But anyways, Diane is in the chat. Good morning, Diane. Good morning to Noah. Good morning to Craig. I see our friend Denny Cortez in the chat. V-Track saying, imagine if Betts' OPS was 850. He has sucked too this season. His selfishness to be a mediocre shortstop has hurt the Dodgers. Lot to digest there from V-Track. If you're looking from afar, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying if you're looking from afar, yeah, I could understand the kind of perception of Mookie Betts and playing shortstop. However, he has been really good over the last month, little less than a month, I think, or right at about a month. He has been offensively playing very well. Beyond that, he is statistically one of the best shortstops in baseball. You look at defensive runs saved. The dude's an athlete. He is the shortstop. Definitely for this season. You don't know what next season looks like. He is not the problem. Just Michael Conforto is not the problem for this team. Just Freddie Freeman, just Shohei, just no Max Muncy over the last 2 months is not the only problem. It is an amalgamation of all of those problems coming together. V-Track continues with perception is reality. Hey, I don't agree with your thoughts, but if those are your thoughts, you are welcome to have them. I understand people seeing Mookie Betts at shortstop and the team playing poorly, and you can manufacture a correlation there pretty easily. So that's on you. You do you, boo. Maddie Man saying a lot of us knew Glasnow wouldn't throw a pitch in the playoffs. Hey, we're not there yet. They say it's okay. They say he's not going to die. It's just some little back thing. But we'll talk more about that again a little bit later. See Richie representing the 909, but he's got the 562 if we're talking about area codes. NS asking earlier, where's Clint? I'm right here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Before I get into my thoughts, there is an announcement. Jeff made the announcement yesterday. I think they also made the announcement on Thursday as well. Now you're hearing it from my mouth. We are having a live watch party next Saturday. I know people don't want to watch this team right now. Against the Giants, no less. Hopefully, they're better by Saturday, September 13th, but it's going to be at the Pico Rivera Golf Course in the great city of Pico Rivera. They have a bar and grill there. potentially part of a banquet room there, but this is something that came together. Pretty excited about. I'll be there. Jeff Snyder is coming into town, so you guys can see myself, Snydog, hang out with us, watch the game together, complain about the game together, and then we're going to do a live post-game show there. The plan is we will also stream it at the same time, so if you want to be a part of the show, you can be there. Join us live. Help. Show up. Show out. Support the show. Support us in numbers. I've been told there are some space limitations, so let's blow those out of the water. Let's go over them. There's a bar. There's going to be food. There's a grill. I hear potential prizes and giveaways. Plenty of drinks. Plenty of parking. Doors open at 5 p.m. Hang out, meet and greet, rub elbows, and then the game is at 6 p.m. Of course, 6:05. Dodgers at Giants. Listen, at least we could be disappointed together if the Dodgers continue to play poorly, but we hope to see you there. Again, all the link, the info is going to be in the description. We're going to post it on social media as well. Pico Rivera Golf Club, Dodgers Watch Party, 5 p.m. next Saturday, September 13th. Hope to see you there. Now, that much said, it is Saturday. It is Spicy Saturday. We're going to have some words, some grown-up words, some adult words here that I might say. So deal with that, if you will. But listen, you can't sugarcoat this shit we're watching right now. And I have it on the screen again. Are the Dodgers a bad team? I think that's part of the title of this. Are the Dodgers a bad team? We've had this before. Are they a bad team right now? That's the bigger question. That's our hope, and that's where I have the thumbnail of holding out hope, even though I also had one in my head of thank you, fans, because this season feels like a little bit of a wash. But, yeah, you can't sugarcoat it right now because it would just be sugar-coated shit. Things are bad. At this moment, there are no silver linings. Yes, we like to try to talk about Edman coming back, Max Muncy coming back, but there are issues. Neither of those guys are a lefty reliever that's going to take Tanner Scott's spot in the bullpen. There's something wrong about this team. V-Track's in the Dodgers are a bad team now that has a bunch of potentially great individuals. Matty Man saying, think we could watch the Rockies game instead if we're talking about that party. Well, perhaps that could be an option. I don't think they get it at that bar, but we can find out. We could ask them. I will say, listen, I don't care at the moment that the Dodgers still have a 2-game lead in the National League West. Yes, the Padres have also been shit too. They're falling apart. They lost their shortstop. They lost one of their ace relievers. The Dodgers have a 2-game lead only thanks to the fact that the Padres turned into the Rockies right before our eyes. And Manny Machado did that thing he does where he disappears on the Padres when they need him the most. The Dodgers are stumbling towards the finish line. We've seen them do this again, and this is where we get into maybe a potential silver lining. Maybe things will be okay by the time they get to October. And yeah, maybe. But I don't feel good about this team right now. Sam does not feel good about this team right now, saying we are the Rockies too. And that is a great comment right there. So again, this is a question for you guys. I want to have some thoughts. We're going to watch a clip, like I said, of Bill Plunkett right now. But I also want some comments about this team when we come out of the clip from Bill Plunkett there from Foul Territory. So yeah, again, are the Dodgers a bad team? Not just bad right now, a bad team, period. And that's kind of the through line of Plunk's response to Scott Braun here. So Bill, I love Bill because he tends not to sugarcoat things too much, but he did that thing that we all kind of do where you're about to just like, stomp out the Dodgers. You're about to talk all of this crap, but then you backstep. You have to backstep because they have a lot of talent. Why are they playing so poorly? Anyways, all right, I'm just going to play Plunk, and then we'll come back in about 2 minutes and digest that and break it down. But here is Bill Plunkett on Foul Territory from this week.
So my question might be lazy, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Isn't this what the Dodgers wanted? Get yourself off to a nice start. Cruise, prepare for October. Someone's out, someone needs a little blow, IL, take extra time. Let's just make sure our October roster is stacked and try and solve the ultimate problem in Major League Baseball in the 2000s, winning back-to-back championships.
Yeah, you're right. You've defined the arrogance that is the Los Angeles Dodgers. That is exactly how they operate. The regular season is not do or die. Other teams, when they play the Dodgers, it's the most important games on their calendar. That is not the case for the Dodgers. They don't match that intensity or urgency. The problem is, and I've been saying this since the trade deadline, I don't think they're as good as they think they are. They didn't make any big moves at the deadline because of what you're saying. They thought, we'll be fine. We'll be stacked when everybody comes back healthy. Well, maybe these guys come back healthy. Maybe they don't come back to the same level. A good example, Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates both came back from a short stint on the IL and haven't looked good. They didn't look great when they went on the IL. They don't look great now. And there's just too many guys having down years. I mean, Teoscar Hernandez is not the same hitter he was last year. Mookie Betts is having the worst season offensively of his career. The bottom of the lineup is pretty thin right now with Max Muncy out of there. So, yeah, they're going to make it to October. They're going to have pretty good roster when they get into October, and we've seen for 25, 26 years, it's a crapshoot once you get there.
So again, Plunk started off his diatribe hot. Then he did that thing that all of us analyst type do, and he's great at what he does. He's one of my favorite people who is on the Dodgers beat. He backed off. He left it to where all of us leave it. The Dodgers are going to make the playoffs. Yes, they're going to make the playoffs. And you guys know in a little bit, we'll be talking about FanDuel playoff odds, because thank you, FanDuel, for presenting the show. The roster then will be better than it is now. It's going to be better than the team we are watching currently, in theory. There's also the fact the team will be playing meaningful games again. And I think these games have some meaning because they should be tired of being embarrassed by teams like the O's, the Rockies, the Pirates, getting swept by the Pirates. But again, for now, they're going to be better. They're going to be better. They would play meaningful games. Maybe that wakes them up. They might go on a run, and we might forget about all of this shit. But again, for now, are the Dodgers a bad team? Right now, absolutely. Overall, it's hard to say. There is a lot of talent. But at the moment, the offense is lost. The clubhouse feels a little fractured at the moment, especially when you hear more and more from Miguel Rojas, who's talking about the team not having fun. The bullpen is stumbling at least once a game, or at least stumbling in the worst possible times. And those issues are amplified by the fact that the offense has been absolute trash, especially over the last 2 months and change. Starting pitching, honestly, pretty good. We'll talk Tyler Glasnow later on in the show, because you guys know I have some thoughts about Tyler Glasnow. Dave Roberts is sitting on his hands because, frankly, as Bill Plunkett said, there is a sense of arrogance, as there always is, with this team, with this organization. Things will sort themselves out. It did last year with Gavin Lux. It has not this year with Michael Conforto. Eventually, maybe you hope they pull a ripcord on Tanner Scott. But that sense of arrogance, it's going to figure itself out. The ship will right itself. Sometimes ships capsize and sink, and we might just be watching a sinking ship right now. I just really hope not. To back off, like Bill Plunkett did, I just really hope we're not. But I don't have an answer for this question. Are the Dodgers a bad team? I want people's thoughts because some said, if you ever seen a few chats in my peripheral while talking here, people saying that, yeah, they've been a bad team all year. No, the first couple of months, they were a very good team. Obviously started out on fire, going 8-0, good first month, pretty decent month of May. Then it's just been kind of mid to then now really, really bad. But that concludes my A block monologue. That's my voicemail going over the 3 minutes, running out of time, but I don't run out of time on my voicemails. Again, I want to know how you guys feel about this team. Are you having fun? Because I am getting a sense from people just looking at numbers of late on YouTube, looking at engagement from not just our own stuff, from everybody. People are tired of this. People are tired of watching us. People like me, Jeff Spiegel, my boy D-Mac, they're tired of us telling you that the team is going to be okay because we don't fucking know if they're going to be okay. You hope and pray to whatever deity you pray to that they are going to be okay. But what we're watching right now does not instill a lot of hope. My thumbnail says holding out hope. Yeah, we're holding out hope. And we're getting shit put in our hands by watching this team right now. It's not fun watching Dodger baseball. We're hanging out on the All Dodgers Discord. By the way, if you want to be a part of that, sign up through Patreon, sign up through YouTube members. It's $5 a month. You can join us on Discord. You're supporting the show. You're talking to all of us. But people on Discord, seeing it routinely over the last couple of days. It's like, I'm done watching. I'm going to watch something else. Hopefully they come back. Hopefully the Dodgers figure it out. It's not a fun team to watch, even slightly right now. Yeah, Laura, I don't know if I already pushed this one, but Laura saying not fun anymore. It's not fun anymore. It's not fun right now. It will be fun again. Again, this team will make the playoffs at some point. Whether it's a wild card now, I still feel pretty confident that they make it to they make it in as the division winner. Giants are right on their heels. We'll talk about that in a second. I want to get more from the fans here. History, man. Some numbers says some years the fans are right, and other years the podcasters are right. Things happen. Hey, all of us podcasters, we're fans too. There are some podcasts that for sure it's all about the clicks and the overreaction and the engagement bait to say whatever the fan narrative is right now. Jeff Snyder, of course, Snydog is great at finding that positivity, finding a through line, that thread, that reality that the team we're watching is just really mired in a really, really bad funk. People like myself, my boy Kevin Skinner, Kevin definitely a lot more overreaction. I'm overreactionary for fun, but he wears this. Kevin wears this the same way you guys wear this. And by the way, he's not here this morning because he has tennis lessons with Mrs. Kevin. We wear this. We're annoyed. We would much prefer to be doing happy podcasts, happy live streams, hanging out with people, enjoying ourselves. We've hit a point where the team playing poorly doesn't necessarily equal people wanting to complain about it, because we've all been complaining, and especially you guys, myself included, everywhere, everybody, we're out of complaints about this team. How many times can we fire off the same comments on our chat? And I appreciate every comment here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. How much can we keep complaining about this team is the point. They just need to start fucking playing better. That's where things are at. Craig is saying Rojas is trying to be a team leader. Yeah. Listen, Mickey Rowe is a good team leader. He needs to be less of one right now. I need to hear less from him. They need another grown up. They need another adult around. Like somebody like a Jason Hayward stepped up at different points and was kind of that guy like over the last previous 2 years. Mookie Betts is not necessarily a massive vocal leader. Freddie really hates talking, so he's not necessarily that guy. Will Smith is one of the quietest boys you're ever going to listen to. Shohei Ohtani much prefers to have fun than try to lead the team. Max Muncy, who hasn't been around the club a lot over the last couple of days, a couple of months. Months is that guy. Muncy is straight up that guy who will help people who will say, let's do better. Let's go have a team dinner. Let's go have fun with this. Let's say, man, yeah, we really suck. Let's go drink about it and forget. They're missing him bad. Maddie Man saying it's a master class in gaslighting and people don't want to be gaslit anymore. And I don't know what part we're talking about. I can understand the narrative in any way. I will say personally, if you're talking about the podcast thing, personally, for our show, we're not trying to gaslight. We are trying to work off of history. Past history tells us that this team is, and numbers tell us this team is better than how they're playing right now. It's a lot of, I don't want to say it's all just down to dumb luck or bad luck, but there's a lot of bad luck that's helping this team play really, really poorly at the same time. It's a lot of dumb luck and good luck that the Padres are also playing so poorly and keeping the Dodgers afloat at the top of the NL West. This is all a simulation to get us to the postseason. 162 doesn't mean anything. The same thing like Bill Plunkett said in so many words. Getting through the regular season doesn't mean anything. You just have to make the tournament, and then it means something. And this team has the ability to turn it on, to flip that switch, that magic, this made up switch they keep talking about. They have the ability to hit that switch when the calendar is fresh. You hope they do it. You hope whatever a switch means, just play better baseball. So it's gaslighting. It's more of holding out hope, hoping that things bend to our reality, the reality that we have in our heads. NS says they are in the 5th stage of grief, which is acceptance. Yeah, I kind of accept that it's a bad team, and I accept that we're tired of talking about them being a bad team. I'm tired of talking about Max Muncy will be back and help this roster. He will, and he should be soon. He's on a minor league rehab assignment. Jeff told you about that yesterday on the show. Check it out if you missed it. He also talked about the Tyler Glasnow Shohei Ohtani flip because, well, imagine this. Tyler Glasnow injured. We'll talk about him in a little bit. John saying, I knew it. Clint would not let me down with the F-bomb. Saturdays only. Saturdays, we fucking let him fly. We appreciate that. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Badan Co's asking, why can't I gift members? I don't know. I didn't know you couldn't do that. If you want to gift a membership, cool. We'd appreciate it. I try turning it off, turning it back on again, or it might have something to do with your YouTube account. But I appreciate the sentiment on that either way. We got a couple of super chats, by the way. Richie, of course, with the $4.99 super chat. We're also going to hear from him in the voicemail in a little bit. But Richie says the Dodgers are a bad team because that's what's in their heads. Failure at the deadline, too many injuries. It's all in their state of mind. Listen, baseball, hitting is contagious. Playing poorly is contagious. Bad thoughts are contagious. And yeah, it's for them. It has to be very tough to be positive showing up to work, which is one of the things Miguel Rojas too. It's like he had said something to the effect of, it's not just about showing up to work and doing your job. It's about having fun. It's about doing all those things that worked for them in the postseason last year. Forget the wives and or the girlfriends, forget the families, just be here with the boys. I don't know that they can sustain that model for 2 months. I don't know their families can sustain that model for 2 months. It's kind of what they're working on. It's kind of probably what they're going to live on. But they just need to start hitting. They need to start hitting and doing it consistently. Kevin Uhas, good to see my buddy Kevin Uhas in the chat. Haven't seen him around a whole lot of late. Being smart, taking a break from social media, but $25 super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate the hell out of you. He says, straight up, not having a good time. I'd rather ram my head through drywall than watch the bottom of the order, squander another bases loaded situation, and get no runs. Morale in that dugout is incredibly low, and morale is incredibly low. Morale is incredibly low for us as we continue to watch this team and watch this game. Now, it's worth noting the odds makers still have the Dodgers favored in all of the things that we care about. Minus 400 favorites to win the NL West as of this morning, plus 220 favorites to win the National League pennant, plus 380 favorites to win the World Series. Now, what's helping them? There are really just no teams going out there trying to win this, trying to take advantage of the opportunities in front of them. Dodgers have lost 4 straight games. Padres have lost 5. The Giants, though, the Giants are kind of looking like they want something, like they want some of that smoke. They want this NL West. They want to sneak up out of nowhere. A team everybody thought was dead and buried. Maybe that's something we should be talking about. We need to be talking more about those Giants because they are on fire. They are straight up on fire. I think they've won like 9 of their last 10 or 10 of their last 11. They found something that works for them. They posted it. I probably should have had it loaded up, but somebody posted a picture of, they have a little like Jobu shrine in their clubhouse. They're having fun. The Giants are having fun. The Dodgers play the Giants 7 times coming up. That terrifies me. That starts next weekend, by the way, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be watching it together Saturday at the Pico Rivera Golf Course. Myself, Jeff Snyder, all of you guys live there, 5 o'clock. But thank you, Matty Man. I don't know if that's where. No, that's not where they're at. But I thought he put 12-9 as if that was the Giants' most recent record. Diane, yeah, the Brewers. Now the Brewers also kind of fell off a little bit. They're not playing as good as the Giants are right now. And again, Giants have the juice. They have the mojo. They have nothing to lose. And that's the type of thing that terrifies me right now. Dodgers have everything to lose, which is scary. So, the fact that the Giants are just right there on the doorstep, sneaking up on the Dodgers, 6 games back at the moment, 4 games behind a wild card spot, I think it was. Let me pull that up real quick. When you get that type of team, getting some mojo, having some fun, those are the ones you got to worry about. Let's double check right here. Giants, 4 games back of a wild card spot, 6 games behind the Dodgers for that NL West. It would be tough for them to creep up and usurp the Dodgers for the NL West. It would be 100% tough. But on the other hand, the Dodgers do play the Giants 7 more times. They play each other 7 more times starting next weekend. So, again, that's where it scares me. I don't want to keep reiterating this or reiterating it. But Richie's saying, don't look now. Those last games versus the hated ones are going to be huge. Yeah, they are. That's scary. It is scary. Carl saying Giants lost 6 of 7 to the Padres, so they don't scare me. I'm just saying right now in particular, that's a team you got to watch out for at least a little bit. I had another one. Here we go. Super chat. Laura, appreciate Laura hanging out with us. $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. As Orioles ace on the mound. Do we win tonight, Dodgers fans? I feel good about tonight because Yoshinobu Yamamoto is on the mound. He plays the stopper. He has been pretty good at being a stopper for this team. The last time he was a stopper, the bullpen blew it for him, and that's where I'm scared. Because hopefully, as Sam says, DFA Scott, hopefully Tanner Scott, we'll talk about him in a second, by the way. Hopefully Tanner Scott doesn't come in and pitch at a meaningful moment in this game. I have to feel good about this game. I need to see the Dodgers win a goddamn baseball game. Please, for the love of God. It's about goddamn time. Sons of bitches. UL Carter, if I'm saying that right, says everyone is scary right now. Fair. And who is it? Taylor Rogers they're facing? Trevor Rogers? He's been great. He has been so good for the Baltimore Orioles this season. ERA around like 2.5 or 1.5 or something like that. Yeah. Carl saying law of averages on the Dodgers side. That's what we've been waiting for. Return to the mean. Do better. For the love of all that is holy. Kevin Uhas, NL West has car mirror warning. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. Ooh. Preach, sister. Preach. Anyways, before we shift gears and talk about, I got to grab that. We do have voicemails, and I also have a grab bag of other big topics. Obviously, the catching situation is interesting. Tanner Scott, Tyler Glasnow. You know I have my thoughts on Tyler Glasnow. I have some thoughts on Shohei. I do got to tell people about Delete Me, which is a sponsor of the show this week. We appreciate it. I appreciate Delete Me. It does make things easy, quick, and safe. It's an easy, quick, and safe way to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everybody vulnerable. People like myself, I'm somewhat of a public figure. I got to really squeeze it in on this screen. So I very much value privacy and not having all of my stuff out in the world. Data brokers, they want your name, your contact info. They want your social security number. I said that jokingly earlier, by the way. They want your home address. They will get it. They will sell it. They will sell that information about your family members. All of that could be compiled by those data brokers. They could sell it online, and that's where you get those robocalls. That's where you get people sending you things that, emails, all this kind of stuff. Richie wants to delete Tanner Scott and Mike Conforto. I don't think they can do that. I can't promise you that Delete Me will do that, but they can help you take control of your data, keep your private life private. You can do that by signing up for Delete Me, and there is a special discount for our listeners, for our viewers, as you see here on the screen. You get 20% off your Delete Me plan by texting HIT, that is HIT, to 64,000. The only way to get that 20% off is to text HIT to 64,000. You have to text HIT to 64,000. There's no website. There's nothing else. It's all through the phone. Super easy. Message and data rates do apply. Thank you to Delete Me. Thank you guys for listening to this and supporting the brands and sponsors that support us here at All Dodgers. Let's move on. Grab bag time, guys. Whatever you guys want to talk about as well. I'm in. I'm about it. Diane wants to know how we delete this current Dodgers team. I just wanted, like Richie said, I would love to delete Michael Conforto. I don't want to see him in a lineup at all. And I also pushed the like and subscribe button because I saw Diane, and that always reminds me that, guys, subscribe to the show. Hit that like button. We would really appreciate it if you're listening on the podcast side. If you could take a moment to leave a rating or a review on your Spotify or iTunes or however you're listening to it, that stuff really does help us out as well. Boost us in the podcast world, where our podcast audience has been phenomenal. Jeff, obviously, people didn't want to look at him. They preferred to listen to him. So he had a great audio following, and we combined here on All Dodgers, and things have been great. We appreciate everybody who has found us and supports us and all that kind of stuff. Matty Man says they're deleting themselves. Tall Ken Chit says to delete a first place team. I hear that's gaslighting. Anyways, all right, let's talk about the Will Smith, Dalton Rushing, Ben Rortvet situation. It's dire. I'm a little annoyed. Not really. I'm a little annoyed at my friend, my co-host over on Dodgers Territory, Alana Rizzo, because she put this evil into the world. She had asked me, we're coming up with topics to talk about for our Thursday show, and she had asked, what happens when Dalton gets hurt? What are they going to do at catcher? And it's like, oh, silly, that's not going to happen. He's going to be fine, and Will Smith will be back, and everything is going to be perfect. Things aren't perfect. Things are bad with the catching situation right now. Of course, Will Smith took a foul ball off of his wrist while catching. Last night, Dalton Rushing fouls a ball off his leg. Ugly scene. Had to be helped off of the field by his manager and the trainer. I got to tell you guys, Ben Rortvet does not sound like the name that helps lead this team to a World Series championship. Talking about all of those FanDuel odds earlier. FanDuel should look up Ben Rortvet's numbers and maybe change some of those numbers. Are we scared about the catching situation? I kind of think I am a little bit. Chuck saying, don't worry, Kike is going to catch. Max Muncy. No, I want Muncy at third. Hey, let Kike catch. He goes on a postseason, goes on his October run, and win a World Series. UL Carter asking, where's Austin Barnes? Man, that fool's at home in Riverside. He's probably semi-retired at this point. He obviously was DFA'd by the team, in May? Eventually picked up with the Giants for like 2 weeks on a minor league deal. He was released by the Giants, and there hasn't been a whisper of Barnesy. Denny saying Barnesy's at home. Go pass by his house, Denny. Make sure, see if he's still got the catcher's gear. He's not an option. He's not going to come back and even be a backup catcher. I saw somebody mentioning or it was Bill Plunkett's tweet. They do have a couple of guys at the AAA level to back up now Ben Rortvet, who was a absolute out of nowhere addition name that the front office picked up at the trade deadline in a deal that had nothing to do with him. It was just whatever. We need a little bit of depth. So they picked up that dude. They still have Chris Oakey at AAA. They have Chucky Robinson at AAA, who was a guy they had picked up through waivers earlier in the season and then DFA'd, and then he stayed with the team. None of those names sound real good, hitting 8th or 9th for this team in the postseason. So the hope is things are going to be okay for Smitty. Will's going to be okay, but suddenly, again, I didn't talk about this in the monologue, but suddenly this is a massive problem if Will Smith can't get it up and get back in that lineup. Thankfully, nothing broken in the hand, just a nasty bone bruise. Dave Roberts said he's going to have to monitor it for the rest of the year. But if Smitty can't use that top hand to get down and chop some baseballs, I do worry about his offense and his offensive ability. Steven Nelson, our buddy, mentioned it on the call yesterday that Alex Call used to be a catcher, the outfielder they picked up. I don't think they're going to have any position changes because, hey, you guys saw it yesterday. Even Dalton Rushing, who has a fair amount of pomp and circumstance and accolades behind him as a top prospect, catching prospect and all this, him and Shohei were not in sync at all yesterday. And there's some scenes, you saw it, Shohei kind of getting a little annoyed, didn't want to throw some pitches, had the pitch clock kind of winding down. So there is something to it's not just put anybody at catcher. You need somebody who's a game caller. You need somebody who's a receiver, somebody who could block a pitch and all of that, something Dalton Rushing had been actually kind of struggling with. So you need Will back. I don't know where I'm at with Dalton, but you need to get Will back in the saddle. Manny Man says Call will screw that up too. Hey, you know what? Just throw Michael Conforto out there. They're clearly not going to get rid of him. Michael Conforto, catch. No, Donnie Boy saying Shohei with the F-bomb. On a Friday, Shohei, you fucking know that you say fuck on the fucking Saturday show. That was unnecessary. That's gratuitous. I apologize. Guys, let's talk about Tanner Scott. Again, he says baseball hates me right now. We hate him too. I got a problem with Tanner Scott. Like you can't expect him to go in there and be perfect, but also don't just be absolute trash I don't know. That's come on. He's bad. The point is he's bad. Does he make the postseason roster? I ask you guys. Does Tanner Scott make the postseason roster? Because I'm a little scared that he does. I say yes, he does eventually, or he does end up making the postseason roster. Kirby Yates, likely a no. I think the role for Tanner Scott is a low-leverage mop-up guy. But those are just my thoughts on that. I think you can't see him at the end of a ball game anymore. I think you need to see him in the 5th or 6th inning or something like that. I don't care who he's facing. You just can't see him on a lead. They better have a 10-run lead or be down by 15 before you see like him appearing in a game. Trying to get this one here. John saying Tanner Scott makes the roster just because management commits to their mistake signings. I like that one. They're really committing to them mistakes. Those mistakes at the moment. Cole asking a good question. Who are you putting in over Tanner Scott? Basically, well, wait, are you talking about in the role or on the roster? Because I feel like you need to ensure that Justin Wrobleski and Emmett Sheehan are on this roster. Or, sorry, on the postseason, the playoff roster. That's where I'm looking at it. Who am I putting in over Tanner Scott? If you're talking about, like, in a ninth inning, Ben Kasparius, Blake Trinan, Alex Vesia when he's healthy. He, by the way, is on a AAA rehab assignment right now. Kevin saying Scott's really good at getting 2 outs. Yeah. Decent. Say okay. I don't know what that one's about, but I'll throw it up here for the fun of it, because also Dave Luna has a cat as a profile picture, and we appreciate that. Says Tanner Scott isn't willing to give up his firstborn. Does it even want it? Does he even want it bad enough? Yeah, sell your soul for rock and roll sometimes. I'm okay with that. Why not? Told Ken, says don't blame the roster maker. About what? About him being on the roster? I'll blame whoever I want. Something like that. Hey, I forgot. I got voicemails, guys. I'm going to listen to, before I talk about Tyler Glasnow. I'm assuming we're going to have some Tyler Glasnow in our voicemail hotline. So I'm going to throw this up on the screen here, and we're going to hear from our buddy Noah, as you know.
Well, what up, guys? It's Noah, as you know. And I got to say, guys, this team is looking dead. The offense is non-existent. The bullpen, they choke at times. And the starting rotation, they've been on point, actually. But overall, though, it ain't looking good. But let's take a step back and look at the overall league. Every team is suffering insanely, just as much or if not worse than us. Just look at the Padres. All their injuries, freaking losing like 6 in a row. The Mets, a month ago, their starting rotation was not filled with a bunch of kids that were just called up to replace their starting pitching staff. And the Phillies just lost their ace. Every team is going through it. Even in the AL. The Blue Jays bullpen is choking. The Yankees have lost their fundamentals. Everybody's going through it, guys. It feels like we are going to get eliminated in the first round. But guess what? In 2023 and 2022, we were very, very confident that we were going to go past the first round and possibly win it all. But we didn't. Last year, we weren't as confident as we were in previous years, and we won the World Series.
Fair.
So the way I look at it, guys, is we will definitely do better than what we think we are doing at this point in the season, because October baseball is different than the regular season, which I'm sure we can all agree with. But other than that, though, guys, fuck Mike Schilt, fuck Jose Altuve, new one, fuck Manny Machado, fuck Fernando Tatis, fuck the Dodger Stadium parking lot, and for the love of God, fuck the Ghost Runner. See ya.
Good stuff there from Noah, gaslighting all of us, telling us that the team is going to be okay or could be okay at some point. Yeah, I mean, it's a reasonable narrative, and that is the narrative that I guess we're gaslighting ourselves into. The narrative being that at some point, we asked for this in a way. We wanted them to have to play for something meaningful towards the end of the season, so they hopefully play better in October. We've seen them be very good. We've seen them just kind of cakewalk themselves into the playoffs, and then they played really, really bad. Some people aren't going to like that thought. I see Ginge or Ging, however you say it, saying it was a cringe voicemail. I mean, you could call and leave your own voicemail. You see it on the screen there, 562-373-4095. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Or you can, speak ill of somebody who actually calls in and shares their Dodgers thoughts. But the fact of the matter is, that's what we have to hang our hats on, or the hope. The hope we have is that they do play better when it means something. That they do kind of put all of this crap behind them as soon as that calendar strikes to October. Unless they have to play in September, because I think that's the 28th is when the wild card round starts. Whew. Anyways, we also got a voicemail from Richie. Richie has some thoughts, as you would imagine. I didn't listen to it yet, but I'm really hoping I can use it as a springboard to talk about Tyler Glasnow. I probably can. Anyways, here's Richie's thoughts on the voicemail hotline.
You know, when you are constantly getting punched in the dick night in and night out, when everything is going wrong, when players are constantly going down with injuries, when everything is just going to shit, then there's two things that happen. One, you say enough is enough, or two, you expect what's going to happen to us today, how the baseball god's going to shit on us today. And that's exactly that is exactly the frame of mind that the Dodgers are in right now. So how do you get out of it? Well, it's real simple. Throw away the iPads. Throw away the analytics. Throw away the scouting reports. Throw away the lefty-righty matchup bullshit lineups. And you know what you do? You just grab a bat. You crank up your walk-up music. You step into the box, and when that tomato can from a dead fucking last team is on the mound and throws you a meatball, you bang a line drive off his forehead, and you run to first base, and then you rinse and repeat. Every guy goes up there. You're not worried about a scouting report. You're not swinging at balls out of the zone. You're not swinging at balls in the dirt. You're just waiting for a pitch you can drive, and you just keep the line moving. You forget about all the bad things. You forget about everything that's going on. You stop worrying about did the Padres win today. You stop worrying about what the Phillies are doing right now. You just go out there and you try to win every at-bat. You try to win every inning. You try to shut down the other team every time that you do score a run. You do all those things, you'll snap out of it. You judge a team by how they handle adversity, not how well they handle success. We're all tired. I know they're tired. They're banged up. I work in the summertime because you know I do commercial pest control. I work 11, 12, sometimes 13 hours every day. Nobody feels sorry for me. Nobody cares.
I feel sorry.
But I go out there the next day and I grind it out again. So it's real simple. Throw strikes, play catch, put the ball in play, run the bases intelligently. Just do those little simple suggestions from Richie and DeVore, and we're going to come out of this just fine. See ya.
Appreciate Richie calling in. Another great voicemail. Good motivational voicemail there. He got himself a job as the Dodgers manager, according to Vespine. Yeah, you know what? They do need to simplify it, and it's real easy for us to say simplify the game while we're sitting here on our couches or watching a game from my swimming pool or whatever it is, you know. Hey, just play better. Why aren't you just playing better? Why don't you just, find some grass? That's all they really need to do. Find some grass. Keep the line moving. Sometimes it's more difficult than it needs to be, and simplifying the game probably does help this team a whole lot. Not to say I don't think they're overcomplicating it, but at some point I'm okay with the idea of something different. Change for the sake of change. Just one day for fun. Yeah, put everything away. Put all the iPads away and all that stuff. Let Miguel Rojas make the lineup or something. Just do something different just to see what happens, because what we've seen 4 in a row, for sure, what we've seen over the better part of the last 2 months, it isn't working consistently. Now, it's dumb. I already know if Jeff were here, he'd be telling me, he doesn't like the idea of change for the sake of change. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. But sometimes doing those performative things is just, it is performative. It's for the sake of trying something different. You could also tell the fans, you could tell the media, look, didn't work. Your shit didn't work. Let's move on. Anyways, appreciate Richie calling in. Appreciate Noah calling in. Closing up the voicemail hotline. If you guys want to call in, we'll have voicemails again next Saturday. No, we'll have live voicemails because we will be live at the Pico Rivera Golf Course in Pico Rivera watching the game and then doing a live post game there where people can get their thoughts in. We'll have a microphone. I think I'll have a microphone. All right, 2 more things I wanted to talk about. They weren't a part of the voicemails. Talked about it already twice. Tyler Glasnow. Come on, kid. I feel vindicated. People gave me shit. People telling me, oh, I'm just a Tyler Glasnow hater. Then he wakes up like, oh, broke my back. Spinal. I appreciate him not pitching if he's hurt. My point was there's always something with Tyler Glasnow. And because of Tyler Glasnow and his little weak back, and I don't hate the guy. So put that out there. I'm going to pin this in there right now. I hate that he has so many things that happen to him. They all have injuries. They're all hurting. How come everybody else plays while they're hurting? Now, you pitch with a hurt back, you're probably going to do some damage. So I'm fine with him personally not pitching. I think it's the right call. However, overall, I have an issue with Tyler Glasnow's ability to be available because he's not always available. And is this the start of, oh, yeah, well, we're just going to put him on the 15-day IL to give him a blow, and then that blow turns into the rest of the postseason, or, oh, we're hoping to get him back for the NLCS, and he should be there. Shohei had a start in his place. Shohei was scratched from his start on Wednesday because of an illness, because he still has whatever Max Muncy gave the clubhouse, or whoever got into the clubhouse first and gave it to Muncy and pushed his start back, his rehab back, and then all this. Anyways, beyond that, Shohei had a start. He was okay. He was fine. Carl says Glasnow softer than Charmin. Sam saying we are with you. Screw Glasnow. Even when he pitches, he has the worst first pitch ball strike percentage. He has potential. He has all the potential for sure. And his ability, like when he's on the mound, like, yeah, we know things have to be perfect for him as well. Really, really good at having excuses, or having something that happened or threw him off, or losing his feel for the pitch in the middle of a game, or whatever it is. But that's my biggest issue with Tyler Glasnow, and that's why I said what I said a couple weeks ago. I need to see something out of him. You know what? They could have used him yesterday to step up and be a stopper then. Stop a 3-game losing streak. You just got swept by the Pirates. They needed a man to show up and be like, I got us, boys. I'll put you on my back. But the back was hurting. So he couldn't do anything. Shohei had to pitch. And again, he was fine. I do have something to play off of this conversation. I feel like I'm done. Again, I just really wanted to point out that I feel vindicated. I feel justified in my last month complaints about Tyler Glasnow. And we'll see if he starts on Monday like they're saying he will. But Shohei Ohtani, I'll ask this question, and then we'll sign off from here. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this Saturday. If you haven't done it already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This show is nothing without you guys, so we appreciate you. I appreciate you, Jeff, Kevin. We all appreciate the hell out of you people for being here. Is Shohei Ohtani one of the 4 best starters in a postseason series? I asked that because another one of the things Bill Plunkett kind of spoke to the guys over at Foul Territory about, it's like, the numbers haven't been that great. Like, when he's locked in, for sure, absolutely. Like, he's the ace dude that we were hoping for, that we think he can be. But I think it was Plunk who pointed out, it's like he's been just a little generally worse since they started trying to stretch him out into, longer games, 4 or 5 innings, whatever, those longer appearances. Is Shohei Ohtani the best option to start Game 3, Game 4 for the Dodgers? What is it? Yeah, his last since he pitched into the 5th inning for the first time, 4 1/3, 4 earned runs, 4 innings. Did pitch into the 5th, but got through 4 innings, 5 earned runs against the Rockies. Nice start in Cincy, and then yesterday pressing the duty, 3 2/3. No earned runs, but that's one part of it. It's shorter stints, they seem to work. if it makes sense for Shohei to start a game and pitch 3 innings, and then this is the role for Justin Robleski to follow him, and that gives you the best version, the most not overworked version of Shohei Ohtani, and this is the main through line I wanted to get to with this. One, again, I'll ask the question again: is Shohei Ohtani one of the best, like 4 best starters in a postseason series? And then I'll flip that into my concern about all the things that go into all the work, all the preparation between start, side, bullpen sessions, all of that goes into getting him ready to start and pitch 4 or 5 innings. Let's be realistic. It's affecting his offense. Since he started pitching, you cannot refute this. Since making his first start of the season, he's hitting 255 with a 940 OPS. Now, 940 OPS, very, very good. Very heavily fueled, of course, by the long ball. He does have 21 homers over that stretch, 46 RBIs over that stretch. I think it's since June 16th, so we're at a couple of months now. But after seeing what he did last year, just hitting, was it 56 tanks, 54, 56 homers, hitting over 300. Like, you can tell where that offense, that version of Shohei, MVP, just DH Shohei, is missing for this team at times. Now, like we said much earlier in the show, it's not just on one player. It's not just on Shohei. It's not just Conforto. It's not just Mookie Betts. It's not just Max Muncy missing. But this particular team might not be able to survive or at least get as deep in. Let's change this. They are not as good without MVP superstar, just slugger Shohei Ohtani. Pitching is cool. He has absolutely dominant stuff. He is nasty as a pitcher. Cannot refute that either. But there's a lot of work that goes into it, and it is affecting his offense to at least a degree. So I just kind of want to say that there's no real follow-up to it. It's more of a question and just throwing it out there and giving you guys something to watch over the last couple, something to keep an eye on for the last couple of weeks of the season, as he pitches and builds and does all these things. He's not building up anymore. As he pitches and does his in-between start routine, the offense is just kind of not cratering. It's still very good, but it's not as good as it was last year. And I don't think the Dodgers this version of the Dodgers can deal with that. But I don't know. I'll end with this one. Nando390 saying, thank you, fans, 2025. That's right. That was initially going to be one of the thumbnails for this video, but I decided to make it about holding out hope. I don't have much else to say. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I haven't done this in a while, and I feel bad because I really, really like this product. I really, really like these people, but something I've been living with this summer. This is kind of just an unprompted ad break in here for people. I want to tell people about that Pie Living Grill. We actually brought this over to Richie's house in Devore. I have some video of it making authentic, real Dodger dogs over at Richie's house. And it is a battery-operated pellet grill. It makes it cordless. It's phenomenal for your outdoorsing, your tailgating. I have used it to tailgate. I brought it to the beach when we did our camping trip. We started it. I don't know if you're supposed to do this, so if you're not legally, you didn't hear it from me. But we started it at camp. We put it in the back of a truck while we're still cooking. We drove it over to a beach. We continued cooking. We brought it back home, and we brought it back to camp after the beach in the back of a truck, and we ate a really, really good shredded pork, whatever. I can't think of it right now. Pulled pork. That's what it's called. Pulled pork. Smoker is awesome. Diane is saying it. I just want to shout out Pie Living. It's a really cool grill. I think you guys would like it. Use that promo code Dodgers50, save $50 off a grill. I haven't talked about it for a while, so I wanted to get that promo in there. I wanted to give them some love because I appreciate them. Guys, that much aside, randomly plugging that in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the great comments, the questions, hanging out with us, me here on the show today, on the solo show. Got to 50 likes. Let's try to get it to 102. Because why not? 102 likes by the time game, first pitch rolls around. Thank you for the super chats for people who supported the show that way. I appreciate you. Thank you to our YouTube members, our Patreon supporters. Somebody else also just signed up for Patreon earlier today. I appreciate them. I will get you signed up to our Discord. You get access to our Discord if you support the show on Patreon. Do check it out, patreon.com/realfrg, or click the join button here on YouTube. That helps. That helps a lot. Supporting independent baseball coverage on the internet. All Dodgers is presented by FanDuel. Big thank you to FanDuel for presenting the show, sponsoring the show, helping the show out. Follow the guys online. I'm RealFRG on social media. Snydog is Jeff Snyder on social. And then you got Skinner7 Kevin, who of course is our guy, Kevin Skinner. Give them all a follow on social. All those links are in the description. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up on the way out. It's the best way, the most free way to support the show. Thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. But until the next one, see ya.